I looked back since the beginning of this semester, and we've had 8 catalytic converter thefts on campus.
Tonight on TV2 News, more catalytic converters are being stolen from cars on campus. How you can protect your vehicle.
We had a foggy start to the day, but then the sun showed up without a problem. Why was that, and what to expect for the upcoming days?
Later on, check out the highlights from Game 3 of the World Series in Philadelphia. You do not want to miss this edition of the Fall Classic.
Plus, Pfizer has a vaccine in the works for newborns. We have what you need to know and more as TV2 News at 6 starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good evening, Portage County, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Alexandria Manthey.
And I'm Matt Carali. We begin tonight with a nationwide issue becoming local once again as catalytic converters are being stolen from cars on campus.
That's right. Our correspondent Noah Rowe has more. Hi, Noah.
Thank you, Alex. That's right. 8 catalytic converters have been stolen on campus since the school year started this fall. The KSU PD has given TV2 some insight on these thefts and how to keep your car safe.
You'll know if your catalytic converter is taken. Your car's a lot louder. It may sound funny or just different than what you're used to. So at that point, you might want to take it to a mechanic and check to see if it's still there.
These thefts often occur in broad daylight while students are in class. Thieves use small saws to cut the converter from the underside of the vehicle, and this can be done in under a minute. The rate of thefts in Hondas, Kias, and Hyundais are higher than other car models, but any car can be a potential target. Catalytic converter thefts have been on the rise both on campus, off campus, and across the country.
Well, Noah, that sounds like a big issue on campus.
Yeah, Noah, so how can students protect themselves from getting theirs stolen?
It is absolutely an issue that can affect a lot of students on campus, but the KSU PD has suggested covers and alarms that can be put onto your catalytic converter to deter potential thieves. Students are also encouraged to report any suspicious activity around cars to police.
All right, thanks, Noah. Now, Governor Mike DeWine announced today that 24 local law enforcement agencies will receive a total of $11.7 million to help prevent and investigate incidents of violent crime. Now, here on a local level, the Summit County Drug Unit will receive around $111,000.
Also, the Sheriff's Office will receive around $98,000. The grants represent the 10th round of the Ohio Violent Crime Reduction Grant Program. In Ravenna Township, a train derailment that involved 22 freight cars closed South Prospect Street and State Route 44, but no caused injuries were reported. The cars involved in the accident were mostly auto racks carrying vehicles and hoppers carrying rock salt.
The freight train was backed up nearly a mile north of the scene on Lake Street in Ravenna and forced Ravenna City school buses to not pick up children for school today that lived in that area. Those freight cars were gone earlier this morning.
Well, Alex, I'll tell you what, there was a ton of fog coming into work this morning. It was really insane.
Yeah, I could not really see on the road today, so.
No doubt about it. Well, our own Nuried Hurtado is here. And Nuried, will we see that fog again in the coming days?
Matt, Alex, yes, we might have a slightly foggy morning tomorrow too. But for right now, currently in Kent, we have 60 degrees. The temperature feels the same. We have a warm afternoon today. With a dew point of 46 degrees, it gives a humidity of 42%, with the winds going southwest 2 miles per hour and a visibility of 8 miles. Now, for the rest of our night at 8 p.m., we're going to see a 54 degrees. The temperature is going to start dropping, and we're going to have cloudy skies throughout the night. Midnight, the temperature is going to drop a little bit more to 47, and tomorrow morning, we're going to have a cold morning. It's going to be mostly sunny, but we're going to have 43 degrees. And for tomorrow, we're going to start with we're going to have patchy fog early morning. So take that in mind if you have to commute or you have to drive tomorrow morning early. Sunny skies, a high near of 70 Fahrenheit, and winds light and variable with a sunset at 6:18 p.m. That's all I have for now, but don't go anywhere because I have the rest of your weather forecast later in the show. Alex?
Thanks, Nuried. The university launched its month-long Giving Tuesday initiative yesterday for the month of November. The Center for Philanthropy and Alumni Engagement calls it a month-long celebration of philanthropy. Every year, the Kent community comes together and donates to support students and programs, and they can even get their gift matched by the Giving Tuesday Fund. Students who participate will help the Flash's Fighting Hunger Initiative and Hunger and Homeless Awareness Week.
Well, as a new month is in full swing, that means another edition of Talking with Todd is now scheduled. The video chat will take place tomorrow at 2:30 on Microsoft Teams as President Deichen plans on discussing university finances. If you're not able to attend, no worries. A recording will be made after the session.
One Tuscarawas lottery player is waking up $1 million richer today. That's because the winning lottery ticket was sold at a Love Gas car wash in the city. While the winner missed the $87 million jackpot by failing to match the mega ball, they did win the auto pick for $1 million. Other $1 million tickets were sold in Florida, Georgia, New York, and Virginia. The midterm elections are less than a week away. How Democratic Party leaders are preparing for their big day.
Plus, the Spanish government is lending a helping hand to Ukraine by donating ambulances to the country. We have the details.
The College of Public Health at Kent State University prepares students for careers in some of today's most exciting health fields. Public health professionals impact lives by monitoring clinical trials, advocating for mental health, supporting active lifestyles, and more. The College of Public Health also offers open courses for any major, including its most famous course, Zombie Outbreak. Public health students can even study abroad and are encouraged to join the Public Health Student Alliance. For more information, visit kent.edu/public health. Public health, solving our problems together.
Welcome back, everyone. Mahoning Valley has reported higher early voting numbers compared to the last midterm election. When it comes to early voting and absentee, 1,700 more ballots were requested this year compared to 2018. This is also consistent with statewide voting. Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose announced Tuesday that requests rose by 2.6% this year compared to the last midterms.
And nationwide, nearly 28 million people in 48 states have taken advantage of early voting. That's outpaced early voting numbers from the 2018 midterm election as well. But it's too soon to tell if overall turnout will reach historic levels. So far, more than 3 million votes have been cast in both Texas and Florida, 2.7 million in California, and nearly 2 million in Georgia. Some states with a surge in early ballots have changed election rules since the last midterms. For example, Virginia, Vermont, and Michigan expanded access to mail-in ballots.
We are less than a week away from the midterm election, and Republicans hold an edge over Democrats, at least in terms of voters. In a new CNN poll, Democratic enthusiasm about voting is significantly lower than it was in 2018, from 44% at that time to 24% now. Republican voters aren't as excited as they were in 2018 either, but are still more than Democrats, from 43% in 2018 to 38% now.
And former President Barack Obama campaigned in Nevada Tuesday night to bolster for Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, urging voters to cast their ballots for her as well as the state's other Democratic candidates. Masto's race against former State Attorney General Adam Laxalt is one of the GOP's best opportunities to pick up a Democratic seat. The race between the two has been deadlocked for months.
Well, from a former president to the current commander-in-chief, as President Joe Biden is planning on giving a speech about protecting democracy. It is set to be made from Union Station in the Capitol Hill neighborhood as he'll discuss what's at stake on the ballot. The speech is scheduled for 7 o'clock tonight.
And for midterm election updates, be sure to continue to follow TV2 as the election grows near.
Make sure to tune in to TV2 on election night as we will host our election show from 8 to 10 p.m.
Our Around 37 million Americans have diabetes. The CDC says about 1 in 5 people don't even know they have it.
And the disease can lead to serious health problems. Mandy Gaither has more.
It's a disease that can strike at any age. Diabetes, which happens when a person's blood sugar is too high, is a serious health threat.
It can affect the eyes and the kidney and the heart, and it's actually linked to certain types of cancer.
Managing the disease and preventing further complications isn't easy. That's why the National Institute of Diabetes, Digestive, and Kidney Diseases says it takes teamwork between a patient and their doctors. Dr. Griffin Rogers says to remember the ABCs. A stands for A1C, a blood test that measures average blood sugar levels over the past 3 months.
And for most people with diabetes, we aim to keep that at about 7%.
B is for blood pressure. The CDC says most people with diabetes have high blood pressure. Rogers says managing it is critical.
So for most people with diabetes, keeping their blood pressure numbers less than 140/90 is a goal.
C is for cholesterol. Lifestyle changes like diet and exercise can help lower it. So can medicines like statins. Finally, S for not smoking.
Smoking and diabetes narrow the blood vessels and lead to the vascular damage that can cause problems in the kidneys and the eyes and the heart.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Keeping with health news, Pfizer is working on an RSV vaccine for newborns and now says it has enough data to seek approval from the FDA. The company says it will submit its findings by the end of the year. RSV is a common respiratory virus that typically causes mild cold-like symptoms, but it can be dangerous for older adults and infants. Pfizer's vaccine would be administered to pregnant women who then produce antibodies that are passed on to her newborn. If adopted by the FDA, it would be the first vaccine for RSV.
Sticking with this illness, GSK has been granted priority review by the FDA for its respiratory syncytial older adult vaccine. If approved, the vaccine could be the first in the nation to help adults 60 and over from respiratory tract disease caused by the RSV infection. The decision on whether it can be approved or not is scheduled to come on May 3rd.
Welcome back, everyone. I have the rest of your weather forecast for all of you. As for right now, let's take a look at our statewide temperatures. We have 63 in Cincinnati, 62 in Dayton and Columbus, and 61 in Lima. 58 in Athens as well as Steubenville, with 57 and Akron at 60. Zooming into Northeast Ohio, we have 60 in Mansfield, 59 all across the border with Lake Erie, with Sandusky, Cleveland, and Ashtabula, 60 in Kent, and Worcester at 57. Now for our 7-day forecast. Tomorrow we're going to see sunny skies with a high temperature of 70 degrees. The temperature is going to start going up towards the weekend. We're going to have 72 and 75 on Friday and Saturday. The skies are going to be partly cloudy, but the temperature is going to be nice. So keep that in mind if you're planning to do something during the weekend. However, on Sunday, we're going to have the temperature start dropping again to 71 and 70 on Monday, with partly cloudy skies as well. But the temperature is going to keep dropping again on Tuesday and Wednesday to 69 and 66. So keep that in mind if you are planning on doing something during the week. We're going to have sunny skies and partly cloudy, but it's going to be nice. That's all I have for you tonight. Enjoy those warm days ahead with sunny skies, and I'll see you next Wednesday.
Thanks, Nuried. News that just came in to our station. Parkland school shooter Nicholas Cruz was officially sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. This comes after a jury denied prosecutors' appeal for the death penalty last month.
The jury's decision needed to be unanimous to sentence Cruz to death. Cruz was sentenced following 2 days of victim impact statements from survivors and family members of the 17 students and staff killed. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell held a press conference at the White House this afternoon and said that U.S. interest rates will go higher than previously projected. This comes after the Fed raised interest rates 75 basis points for the 4th time in a row. The unanimous decision lifts the benchmark federal funds target from 3.75 to 4%, its highest level since 2008.
Lawyers for former President Trump are due in court Thursday. They are set to argue over New York Attorney General Leetta James's request to impose a monitor to oversee the Trump Organization's financial statements and to block the real estate company from transferring any assets unless approved by a judge. The Trumps have denied any wrongdoing and call the lawsuit politically motivated.
3 of the biggest pharmacies in the country are paying a big amount of cash. CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart are paying $12 billion to settle lawsuits brought by states and local governments, saying that they mishandled prescriptions of opioid painkillers. The agreement won't be finalized until enough states, counties, and cities agree to terms.
Spanish Foreign Minister Jose Manuel Alvarez arrived in Kiev on Wednesday to deliver 30 ambulances from the Spanish government to Ukraine. The Foreign Ministry press office said the ambulances are specially equipped to handle pregnant women. Alvarez will visit areas affected by recent Russian missile strikes and pay tribute to Ukrainians who have died in the war.
Keeping things overseas, tension on the Korean peninsula are rising as both North and South Korea have traded missiles. The North launched the most shots in a single day with 23, but the South responded back by launching 3 air-to-ground missiles over the demarcation line. Tension between the two countries have been heavy this year as more than 50 missile launches came from North Korea, including 1 ballistic missile that crossed over Japan. Well, it turns out we've been saying one of the biggest artists in music's name wrong. We'll tell you how to say it right.
And the Kent State Golden Flashes look to extend their 12-game home winning streak. Stay tuned after the break to see if they were able to get it done at Dick Stadium.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Good evening, Portage County. I am Brady Hamilton, and let's get into some highlights. We go to Dick Stadium, where Kent State hosted Ball State. And early on in the first quarter, Cardinals quarterback John Paddock drops back, throws, and it is tipped and intercepted by C.J. Harris, and the Flashes will take over. Looking to capitalize on this turnover, Countley will drop back for the Flashes. He looks, and he finds Devontae Walker, who gets open in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. And Kent State will take a 13-0 lead in the first quarter. But then, later on in the second quarter, Ball State inching back down 13-7. Paddock drops a bomb right into the hands of Jayshon Jackson, and the Cardinals will take a 14-13 lead. And down by touchdown, the Flashes need to answer, and they will get one here as Marcus Cooper shows off his speed and gets into the end zone to tie the game at 20 for Kent State. But late in the fourth quarter, Paddock would deliver the game-winning touchdown to Tanner Kozio as Ball State takes a 27-20 lead in the fourth. The Flashes with one more chance on off. Constantly breaks loose, but he would slide early, turn it over and downs, and Ball State would be able to take a knee on this one and end the Flashes' home winning streak. And here's Coach Sean Lewis.
Bad coaching by me. We got to make sure that he clearly understands what the rules, what the situation is, and when it's 4th down in that situation, you know, he needs to know through me that sliding is not an option there, and that he's going to put a shoulder down. I know that Callan will do that for us, so I didn't do a good enough job of letting him understand exactly what that is and to remove the gray so that on 4th down, slide is not an option there.
The loss last night ends the 12 home game winning streak and brings the Golden Flashes to 3-6 on the season. The Flashes would now have to win out to have any chance at a bowl game, and they finish out against Bowling Green, Eastern Michigan, and Buffalo. And now the fans were ready to go in Philly for Game 3 of the World Series last night, and rightfully so, as early on in the first, Bryce Harper, he keeps the crowd going with a shot to right, and the Phillies, they take a 2-0 lead. And in the second, why not? Alec Bohm would add on with a solo shot of his own and make it a 3-0 Phillies lead. And the party would keep on going. Kyle Schwarber just has a moonshot to center over the sign. The Phillies just keep on going, and one more final home run, why not? Rhys Hoskins is the final one to homer, and the Phillies win 7-0 and take a 2-1 series lead. That's all I have for you this week, Portage County. I am Brady Hamilton, and make sure to tune in at the same time next week for more sports news.
'Tis the season to sip on coffee. See what beverages and treats are on this year's holiday menu at Starbucks.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
Welcome back. Adele has some news for us. After all these years, we've been saying her name wrong. While many pronounce it as Adele, the singer said it's actually pronounced Adele.
She noted the correction during a recent Q&A session when a woman asking about her songwriting used the correct pronunciation. The event was held to celebrate her new music video for the song I Drink Wine. Up next for the singer, her Las Vegas residency, Weekends with Adele, starts November 18th.
It is coffee lovers' most wonderful time of the year. Starbucks unveiled its new holiday cups today, an annual tradition now in its 25th year. Beginning Thursday, customers will have their hot beverages served in one of 4 festive cup designs. No new drinks are being added this year, but you can enjoy the usual peppermint mocha, my personal favorite, or the chestnut praline latte. There is a new sweet treat being unveiled, though, the chocolate pistachio swirl roll.
All right, guys, real quick. Favorite holiday drink at Starbucks? Go, Nuried.
Caramel brulee latte.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like
Really
the
good.
peppermint mocha, though, the best.
What about you, Brady?
I can't lie. I'm saying
no.
with my basic vanilla bean frappuccino.
You're a man of
So
simplicity.
Christmassy,
I'm like,
right?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What about you, man?
I like the peppermint mocha too. I gotta go with Alex.
Peppermint mocha.
It is
that's
very
for
good.
Sure.
It is
yeah.
insanely good.
All right. Well, that is all the time we have for you today.
Thank you for joining us.
For updates on all these stories and more, visit our website at KentWire.com.
And on social media at KentWire on all platforms. I'm Brady Hamilton.
I'm Nuried Hurtado.
I'm Matt Carali.
And I'm Alexandria Manthey. Have a great night, Portage County.